Well, hello and welcome back to my workbench. It is time once again to try to fix something. And today on the workbench we have something a little different for me. Very different actually. Xbox Series X. Now I bought this as just needing an HDMI port. And I'm hoping that's what's wrong with it. I'll read you the description from the seller. Sent it to a local tech. HDMI port bad. Tech said it's connected to the motherboard and didn't have the capability to do it. And if I can show you right back, this is hard to do with one hand. The HDMI port is totally gone. So yeah, it's been worked on, and supposedly it was by a local technician. But anyway, I was hoping just in a simple HDMI, a quick fix. But I've got power into it right now over there, and you can see, and it doesn't do anything when the button is pressed. Nothing whatsoever. So either the problems are deeper than I had thought, or there's something, maybe they left something disconnected inside. I don't know. I really don't know. So I'm going to get into it. Let's just see if I can figure out how to get this thing open. All right, well, that was a bit of a fight. I think this is like the second time I've ever opened a Series X before. But I can tell there was a lot of screws missing. Whoever did this just didn't bother putting very few, just enough screws to hold it together. So we're going to take a look at this under the microscope, though, now that we find it. But I did notice it was the main ribbon cable here was disconnected, so maybe that's why it's not turning on. I hope so. I did check there is a SSD in there. I was worried that whoever had done this may have just not included that. It's in there. Hopefully it's a good one. But we are in. Let's take a look under the microscope. If I can get this set back up. I kind of knocked my microscope out of the way. All right. Now let's look under the microscope. And this is what we're starting with. Yeah, we've got some rip traces. And yeah, I have replaced an HDMI port on one of these. It's been a while, and it does take a lot of heat, I can tell you. Anyone's ever done it knows it takes a lot of heat. But so whoever this was did not realize the how much it took. So we've got a rip pad here, rip pad. This one here is probably pretty weak. I could reattach it. This one is gone. That one's gone. So, oh, and this one over here. So what, four totally ripped pads and one that's kind of floating in the breeze there we might could put back down. And need to clean out these anchors too, look like they just could not get it hot enough, which it's the thing. I mean, it's hard to get it hot. This board really soaks up some heat. So, and I'm also just now realizing I don't have a port for this thing. I have ports for One S, Xbox One S, and I thought they were the same, and I've since found out they are not the same. So I've got to order the port, and I got to find, get on eBay, see if I can find a pack of screws, you know what I'm saying, from somebody disassembling, because I'm missing so many screws. If I ever get this thing working, I'm going to need a bunch of screws to get it back together. So anyway, I was worried about some of these little TVS diodes might have been knocked off, but they're all there. Yeah, nobody's messed with the encoder IC, looks like. That's good. Okay, so let's get some parts ordered. And I could go ahead, I guess, and do some trace repair while I'm waiting on that stuff to get here. Probably will do that, but we'll see if we can fix up some of these traces, and we'll get some parts coming, and let's just see how it goes. Oh, and here's the back side of the circuit board, where the anchors are. We've got blobs of solder scattered about. No damage to that chip, which I think this is related to some of the communication pins on the HDMI port. Some of the data for talking to your display, not display data, but like I think some of the negotiating and stuff for the resolutions and whatnot. But yeah, so we're gonna see if we can get some of this cleaned up and see what we got underneath all this. But hopefully, if we're lucky, if we're very lucky, no permanent damage done, other than those ripped pads. All right then, our port is replaced. I lied earlier. Apparently I did have some Series X ports. I didn't realize it, but I did. Good. So I got that replaced after rebuilding all those traces. I put it back together. Still missing a lot of screws. I think I've got everything back, which you should try to turn on, hopefully. Let's find out. No. Well. Acts like no power. Is that a dead power supply? I haven't checked yet. Let me get it back over on the workbench. All right, so I took the supply back out, and I think we're going to be good. It's plugged in right now. We have 11.8 there. I'm sorry, you can't see. 11.8 on this big plug, and 11.8, I believe, on this little plug, which I believe is the standby. There we go. And I'm 99% sure I never plugged that connector in. I don't remember ever doing it. I remember doing the big one. I don't think I did the little one. So that's probably the standby. Let's try that. All right, I think we're ready to try this again. Maybe I put it back together right this time and have the standby power connected. Power is in at the back. HDMI is in at the back. At least make a noise, please. There it goes. Beep on off. Very, very quickly beep on off. What did I do wrong? Very, very quickly beep on off. Okay. See if I can figure out what it is. Well, I went all over these boards looking for any kind of shorts. I was expecting to see a knocked off component. I couldn't find anything. And then I asked around, and it was recommended to remove the SSD and see what it did then. So I did that, and it stayed on for 1 minute and 45 seconds. The light stayed on. It didn't. After 1 minute 45, the light went out and it shut down. So that kind of pointed at SSD problems. So I'm thinking, great. But I reinstalled the SSD, put it all back together, and now she stays on. I've got it hooked to the cable that goes to my microscope. Look at there. There we are. We are working. Excellent, excellent. So I probably need to take it back apart, clean those SSD contacts really well, reseat it in there. I definitely need to apply some more thermal compound. I had put some fresh stuff on there, but then it got wiped off with all my looking around the board. So yeah, I think she's going to come back to life. It looks like our HDMI port repair is good. Good solid HDMI output. So yeah, that's my next step. This thing takes forever to come up, doesn't it? Is that normal for these? I don't know. There it is. Finally came up. So yeah, that's my next thought. I'm going to try to clean those connections really well. Put thermal paste on there really well, and it had a disc in it. It had a Modern Warfare 3 disc in it, so that's a bonus. So let me get that done and see if this thing works fully. All right. Well, it has been about a week since I've worked on the Xbox, and in that time I have gotten in what is supposed to be a full set of screws for a Series X. Is that everything? I guess that's it. So All right, let's go put these to some good use. Put this thing back together and finish this repair. Thought there'd be more. Well, here we are fully reassembled. I think I've replaced pretty much every screw that was missing, and there was quite a few. Let's see if this thing will at least turn on now. I hope so. Yes. We're going to get a picture. Yes, we are. I need to find a controller, don't I? Let's see. All right, let me see if I can find a controller. All right, well, I do have this wired controller laying around, so I hooked that up, and I've got a game installed, I believe. She seems to be running just fine. I think the game's going to come up. There we go. That installed off the Blu-ray drive, no problem. So there you have it. An Xbox Series X repair for me. I don't do many of them. Maybe I'll do some more in the future, but I'm glad this one worked out and wasn't a dead SSD. So, hope you liked that one. Thought it was somewhat interesting, educational, entertaining, any of the above. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. And I'll see you in that very next repair. Bye for now.